Do you ever wonder who the Nick Saban of junior college football is? Well, guess what? He is breaking his silence right here, right now on the JUCO Prep Pipeline podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Stotsky, and in this episode, the legendary three-time JUCO National Championship and Iowa Western head coach Scott Strohmeier will join the show to dive deep into the chaos of the Wild West transfer portal, the junior college football ruling, the D2 ruling, and even NIL, and he has a lot of stories to share. So like, comment, and subscribe below, and let's get it!
Straighten it up back here, let's go.
It's bullshit!
Hey guys, they're gonna self-destruct. They're gonna self-destruct. Okay?
Hey! This is so fucking horseshit!
That's a bullshit call!
Good afternoon. It's an honor. I feel like I'm interviewing the Michael Jordan of junior college football coaches here.
No, don't worry about that. Just an ordinary guy.
As I was doing some research, I noticed that you've had like a lot of good football players under your tutelage. Like Andrew Van Ginkel went there while
Yeah.
you were coaching. Oh, damn, that's crazy. It's like so impressive that like you coaches, because I've like interviewed like some other coaches. It's so impressive how you guys get these guys to go to the NFL from JUCO. It's like
Yeah.
it's hard, huh? And like how to recruit those guys. It's really amazing.
It's
Um,
a lot different now than it was. I mean, in the past, you'd get those guys because maybe they didn't have the grades to go to a Division I school. And really the criteria for a kid to be a qualifier out of high school today is way different than it was before. And since COVID went and they don't require ACTs anymore, that was always the biggest one. It was never really a GPA issue. It was always an ACT score. Or like in Florida, when they had to pass the FCAT,
mm,
and if they couldn't pass the FCAT, they couldn't graduate, or they had to go junior college. So it's changed a little bit. The landscape has changed in the last 5 years. And then with the portal,
yeah.
it's been kind of a mess. You gotta.
Well, I guess like specifically to the portal, what specifically have you like had to change from like a recruiting standpoint and just from like a coaching philosophy standpoint since the portal? And has it been harder to recruit kids to come to JUCO since the implementation of the portal?
Yeah. Well, one word with when the portal really hit. Let me go back. When COVID hit and everybody got a year of eligibility, it gave us more opportunities to get high school kids, right? And then when the portal hit, we're still getting a better high school kid. Now you're going to come into the 105 roster limitations. There's less high school kids getting scholarships now than there was pre-COVID. Okay. Um, so in the past, when someone wanted to transfer from Florida to another Division I school, if they wanted to play right away, otherwise they had to sit out a year, right? So what they would do is they'd take that 1 year and they'd go junior college, and then they'd go to the Division I. Well, the portal now, they don't have to do that. So we weren't searching for a lot of transfers for a little span of time because they weren't interested in going junior college anymore. The only ones that were interested were ones who got in trouble or really, really bad grades at the 4-year school. But now, so it changed because there's so many people in the portal, there's not enough opportunities for them all to go. So we're getting the transfer kids a little bit more now. What you got to do now is do your homework, because if I enter the portal, was I forced to enter the portal by my coach? Am I choosing to because I want a chance to play? Or did they want to keep me, but I'm entering the portal? Was it an off the field issue or whatever it may be? Where, like I said, in the past, it was generally when you entered the so-called portal back in the day, I'm transferring, right? So then we would call them, because if they wanted to play at Florida or at the Florida level, they have to go JUCO. So it's changed a little bit, and what we're finding now is some 4-year schools at the lower levels are recruiting those kids and saying, well, come here and you can leave after 1 year if you're good enough.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And how I guess how can coaches can force you to enter the portal? Like they could take away your scholarship and make you enter the portal. Is that a thing?
Yeah,
Or
yeah. I mean, basically, yes. Like I may meet with you and say, you're not going to play here. You're never going to get on the field. Or now with this 105 roster limitation is they can say, well, you're not going to be on the 105 once school starts, so you might as well enter the portal.
mm, very interesting.
Yeah.
And to follow up on like JUCO, what are their primary sources of funding? Like where do they get their funds from?
Um, every place is probably a little bit different. Like ours here, we're budgeted and we have a fairly decent budget, for the things. I've been to another one where a lot of it was fundraising. Like you had to go fundraise, do camps and something like that just to fulfill some of your needs on a football. So here, like it's our we get funded obviously from the school, but part of it is through so when you get your tuition and there's fees. So when we first started, the fees went up a little bit, right? And so $2 or of those fees went to what the athletic football budget type of thing to help fund it that way. So it's all every place is a little bit different.
And yeah, no, that's great because I don't know if you heard about them. I'm sure you have because you're a JUCO legend. But there's a new JUCO rule which basically says that like it was based on Diego Pavia, the
Mhm.
football player, how somebody can go to JUCO without like losing eligibility. Do you think? Because I think you said earlier with the transfer portal, basically fewer people were going to JUCO because of like the implementation of the transfer
Yeah,
portal. Do
yeah.
you think that this new rule will increase the demand for junior college? Like, will more
Well,
players
I
go?
guess so one, it's still kind of a misconception because the and we answered all these questions and we had the same questions. It's really just a blanket for the people currently who exhausted their eligibility and played in a junior college season. They're gonna blanket 1 year. Now, moving forward, there's obviously discussions that are we going to be like a prep school eligibility wise? Um, what's the NCAA going to do? All those things, GPA requirements for junior college kids, all like there's a lot of discussion and it's all come to the forefront. Now, maybe that's what we wanted 5 years ago, but once Diego, the NCAA is sick of getting sued, that they're gonna look at it because what's gonna happen moving forward, all it's gonna take is a couple more junior college kids to file a lawsuit that these years should not count. And and what it's doing and why it really pushed through with Diego was the fact that he's not going to be on high NFL draft boards, right?
Hmm.
So his 1 year of playing a junior college against some prep schools who'd never used eligibility, and I'm losing out on NIL.
Hmm.
I'm going to lose $500,000 or whatever he gets. I'm not going to get 500,000 because you're saying my junior college year counted. That's kind of where it all kind of
So,
started and trickled.
so it hasn't been official that it's for all junior college
No,
athletes yet.
correct.
But I mean, yeah, I'm sure. Like, I mean, I don't see how it wouldn't be because like so many people are gonna sue. It's gonna be like, oh, if Pavia gets it, like, why shouldn't I get it, right? And then,
What the other thing that will potentially I think is going to happen before before any it's all eligible or no years of eligibility if you go JUCO. I think the NCAA is going to go with a 5 years to play five model. So no 4 game red shirt, no you can play in 5 games, 2 games, 10 games, and it's a year of eligibility. So if you don't play as a freshman, you still got 4 years to play. But you could play as a freshman and you could play for 5 seasons.
mm,
I think that's the model. I think that's the easiest way probably to kind of cover the basis of everything with this whole Diego thing and um Everybody trying to grant for a 5th year, 6 year of eligibility and filing all these waivers all the time. It's pretty clear cut that you got 5 to play 5.
Yeah. And there are some players who had 9 years of
I
eligibility.
know.
There was a player in Miami. His name was Cam McCormick. He's a tight
Yep.
end. He got 9 years,
I
which is
know.
pretty wild to be in
That
college for
is,
9 years, I
that
will
is
say.
crazy. That
Um,
is.
so assuming that this new transfer portal or the new junior college rule applies to everybody, right? Like assuming that that's what's going to happen, do you think that junior colleges will need more funds because if more people go to the junior colleges, will they need more funding to be able to sustain the increased amount of junior college players attending?
Yeah, probably. I think the biggest thing is, again, it goes back to institutions because like some junior colleges can only have 65 players. Like Mississippi has a limit. They can only bring in so many. I have no limit. So I'll go anywhere from 150 to I've had over 200,
Wow.
and my funds didn't really, obviously there's more expenses the more numbers you get. Um, but up to the institution how big those numbers want to be. And yes, the funding would have to increase. If it did go to that, you're going to get back into the time when, especially with the 105 roster limitations that Division Ones are going to have. I'm going to be a farm system for X, Y, and Z.
So you'll be in
Oh,
cahoots with like, let's say Bill Belichick from North Carolina. He may
yes.
say, "I want to bring this coach to Iowa Western. Can you develop him for 1 year and then we'll take him back?" Is that
Yep.
like possible that that can
Yeah.
happen? Wow.
Yeah. Especially if you're a qualifier and out of high school, but they now all they need to pass is 12 credits in the fall and they can transfer because you're already NCAA qualified. So what you'll find out is if that happened, I got a good friend at Florida State. I know Scott Frost at Central Florida.
Okay.
I know Alex Golish at South Florida.
Hmm.
Obviously Iowa State, Kansas. I mean, you build those connections over the years. I literally would go there and say, any kid that you want to place them with me, I'll get them back to you. And so, because back in the day, that's what it was like. If I'm at Miami and I offer a kid a scholarship and he got a 16 on the ACT, so I couldn't get him eligible to play right away, I would then place him at a junior college and then get his grades right. And then there's no guarantees that they have to take
Coach, I think I lost you.
into people right now when they're cutting to the 105. Like they don't want to cut this kid because they think he's pretty good. So I'm saying, uh, okay, Iowa State, tell him to come to me, and if you have a spot and you like him next year, you can recruit him back.
And that's what's going to go on, assume if this new rule
Yes.
passes with everyone.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's what was going on before the transfer portal with unlimited transfers,
Yep.
right? So it's basically reverting back to that.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that like there'll be even more of a demand now than there was prior to the unlimited transfers?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And and then like how would it work with like the collectives? Like let's say you have like there's a player on Iowa who's getting a certain amount of money of NIL, right? But then he transfers to junior college. Would he still be able to receive that NIL money that he was getting at Iowa when
Not,
he
no, he would not unless it was through like, say, the car dealership.
okay.
You know what I mean? But if it's now what the way go, generally this you're an employee of the school and the school divvies your amount of collective. And that's where I mean that's a whole probably weeks worth of conversations is this NIL, what it was designed for and how they're using it. Like how it's getting used is not what it was designed
Yeah,
for.
it's professional, right? They're getting,
Yes.
but they're employees by definition because they're getting paid to provide a service, which basically makes
And
them.
and now the school's going to be giving it to them. You can still go get outside, but the school's saying, okay, every player on my team gets 25,000 minimum from our collective, but then there's X amount of players that are getting. My quarterback's going to get 2 million, my left tackle is going to get something, and my corner and my whatever. Um, so they can still divvy it up based on like a company, and the higher demand employees get paid more than the lower demand employees.
Yeah, for sure. And then how do you think like this new junior, pending the rule, assuming it's confirmed, how do you think that's gonna affect I don't know, like FCS schools or like lower Division 1 schools like a MAC school? Do you think that players won't be going there as much, but instead they'll go to JUCO because
Absolutely.
they're not?
Absolutely. If their ultimate goal is to play at the highest level, they're gonna and you can, you're a better player as a senior as you were a sophomore. So if you're a sophomore in college, you're better than you're a senior, and and you still have all your eligibility left. I mean, now if I'm a 4-year school, I'm telling people to go junior college. I mean, go play for 2 years. I don't need, my starting quarterback's a junior, and I don't need one right now, or I got two really good ones behind him. Well, go there for 2 years, and then we don't find one in the high school ranks, we're going to take you back. So it's going to open up a lot of doors.
Yeah, they're Pandora's box, as they say. And aside from that, do you think it makes the high school like if you're not an ESPN 300, for example, do you think it's very hard to get recruited to like Division 1 schools
Yes.
because of this? Because
Yeah.
they have the portal and this, assuming this JUCO rule goes through?
Hmm. Yep. Oh yeah, for sure. Well, the thing is, there's, I don't know the exact number, but drastically lower amount of high school kids getting scholarships today than 5 years ago because of COVID, extra year, and then because of the portal. So what the NCAA tried to do is they tried to say, okay, we're going to try to help. We had an issue with high school kids getting scholarships right now. How can we force college coaches to recruit more high school kids? Move the signing day early. So before the portal, because if you wait to sign high school kids after the portal, and I'm at, you know, South Florida, and Alabama's backup quarterback entered the portal, I'm going to take him, and guess who I'm going to drop? High school kid, right? So it forced them. Now, some schools didn't sign all their open scholarships. So let's say if I just signed 20 kids, I might have said, oh, we're going to sign 15 kids, but we're going to save 5 for the portal. We may get them, we may not get them. And if we don't get them, let's wait for the next portal or go junior college. So it just gonna it's gonna it'll hurt. I mean, not hurt, but I mean, there already is less high school kids
Like
getting
it'll be
the.
more, yeah, more difficult for them. Um, and yeah, I mean and I think as you said, there's less JUCO kids because like they would look at the portal before JUCO, right? They probably look at the portal first, and they used
Yep.
to look at like high school and JUCO
Yeah.
like back
And
in the day.
junior college was like or like the portal. So you're going to recruit high school kids, but you know, if I just get a job and I sign a 5-year contract, but I don't win any games year 1 and year 2, they're going to fire me, right? They'll pay me out. Well, so they're like, we need to get some experience. So they'd
Yeah.
go junior college. I mean, I had a defensive player of the year. It was the COVID spring that we played. Maybe it was the next year, but whatever. It was because of COVID. He led the country in tackles. In 5 years prior to that, he'd have probably had 30 offers. That year that he did, because of the COVID extra year, he had FCS offers, and at the last minute, Iowa State offered him a scholarship.
Wow.
That was his only offer.
Wow.
So um, I mean, I've had the defensive player, the defensive player of the year, offense player, a quarterback who was offense player of the year, and Jake Waters, who went
Yeah.
to K
He's
State.
coaching at Iowa State now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, he had 5 Power 4 offers probably. Well, the season after COVID, I had the quarterback who was player of the year, had South Alabama, was his only Division 1. He was calling to commit, and they said, sorry, we just took a kid in the transfer portal.
Oh,
So he ended up with 0 Division 1 offers.
oy. Man, I'm so
So I mean,
sorry to hear that. Yeah.
it's just that's just the way he's. I mean, he walked on at Iowa State. Now he's a starter at Lindenwood. But um, my point being is, there's less demand for going JUCO because you're going to go portal, right? But what you're finding out now is, say, Iowa State doesn't have the same money as Florida. They both need a quarterback. And everybody who enters the portal nowadays is looking for money, right? How much money am I going to get? So who do you think that kid's going to go to, Florida or Iowa State? Because Florida's going to give me $2 million and Iowa State gave me 500,000, right? So the schools that don't have as much of that NIL collective, they're realizing I'm not going to chase all these portal kids because it costs so much money to get them. When I can go to a junior college and all my guys are looking for is a scholarship.
Mm. So there are still players going from JUCO to Division One, even
Oh yeah.
within. Okay.
Oh yeah. Now, more group of fives than power fours.
Okay.
I mean, we still had, I mean, I had a kid go to Virginia Tech last year. Um, you know, we had a guy go to, but then trying to think this year, just group of five.
Man, you made it to the national title game and
Yeah.
almost three-peated, and that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you had like a powerhouse from what I saw. You had I think someone named Will Lee, who's
Yeah.
at Texas A&M, and yeah,
Yeah.
he's killing it. So
He's gonna make a lot of money. He already made a lot of money. Got
yeah,
him next year. Him will have has a shot at the league. Um, we got another D lineman who just entered the portal from Western Michigan, is now at Washington. He's going to have a shot at D lineman. We're going to have a D end who went to Coastal Carolina because he wasn't tall enough.
mm,
And he entered the portal, and Louisville paid him a ton of money, who's going to have a shot in the league. Jordan Vandenberg at Georgia Tech, he's going to get a chance to play in the league. You know what I mean? And so we still get some of those guys, but there's a less, when I had to play, like Alabama offered. I mean, I had a kid go to Florida a while back, a lineman.
yeah,
Um, but those guys, they need a no tackle. They're going to go junior college route, right? And but now those teams that can go buy their players, there's no need for them to go junior college. They're just going to wait for that kid who's like, so Clev Lubin, perfect example. Iowa State needed a D end. I mean, everybody that was looking for D end, they said he was 6'2", 6'3", about 245. Everybody was afraid he's not big enough. So funny, he goes to Coastal Carolina, has 17 and a half tackles for loss. How many schools called me to see if he would enter the portal? A ton. So he enters the portal. Then I got Iowa State, Minnesota, all these schools that are saying, hey, is there any way you can help me get this guy? Well, you could have got him for free last year. Instead, now and he didn't go to either of those schools because Louisville paid him a ton more money. You know what I mean? So it's that's happened numerous times.
yeah. So it's like, yeah, it's very transactional now. That's what
Mhm.
it sounds like.
Yeah.
And then also, I mean, I'm sure you've heard of this too, because I know you've coached at Division Two as well. There's a Division Two rule pending. I don't think it's
Mhm.
official, but one player from Wisconsin, he says that he shouldn't lose eligibility because he was at a D2, and they granted I believe, a preliminary injunction for that.
Yes.
And how is that going to change everything from like, let's say, like a JUCO? Like, if that rule applies to everybody.
Well, then I think junior colleges will be out. I mean, I do think, and then you'll just go 4 year. There's if you can go 4 year. I mean, not that junior college would be out, but those D2s are going to get a lot of really good players. That they're almost just going to go play for 2 years and then they didn't count. That's where I think the NCAA, why they're sick of getting sued, because they're getting sued like daily, multiple times a day, that there's no control at the NCAA level. Zero. And they've passed so many things without really thinking, but they were forced to. So when ESPN or someone says that the college football FBS or FBS football needs a commissioner and Nick Saban should be that guy, that's the only way it's going to, you're going to have, you have to, because the NCAA cannot do it.
Yeah, they just have no structure. Like I guess like they don't have the peak. They don't have like you probably need like attorney. They probably need good attorneys and
Oh, yeah.
good business people to like make these decisions because like it seems to be like that the people who are making decisions are like I don't know if it's that they're not qualified to make these decisions, but they're not making decisions in the best interest of the players or the coaches. That's what it seems like to me.
Well, the thing is there's some schools out there that have really good compliance people, and they know when is the best time to file a waiver to get another year of eligibility. Majority of the time, it's when a busy time of compliance and eligibility or whatever, maybe whenever they're busy, they're a little bit more lenient. If you do it in the summertime when they don't have anything going on, you're probably going to get denied, is
Hmm.
what happens a lot of times. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's college football, I don't think is in a great state right now
No, and I
until they,
interviewed. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
until they get something figured out.
Yeah, and I interviewed another I don't know if you know him, Leroy Frederick. He used to coach at Hutchinson and now he's a wide receivers coach at Alcorn State.
Yep.
And he was basically telling me like the same thing. And here's another interesting point, right? If the JUCO rule, like assuming it's, set in stone where anyone can go without losing eligibility, and the Division Two rule becomes set in stone where nobody loses eligibility, what would stop like let's say like an HBCU school or a lower Division One school saying, "Hey, we're not getting players and JUCO people are going to JUCO because there's no eligibility and they're going to Division Two because they're not losing eligibility." What would stop someone from like HBCUs or like a MAC conference or something like that from suing as well? Is it possible that like if they grant this Division Two, then like every other non P4 conference could potentially sue, and then anyone who doesn't go to a non P4 doesn't lose eligibility?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes down that road.
That's crazy.
You know,
That's
it's
insane.
yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. Like when they grant the COVID year, then 4 years later they go, oh, guess what? We're going to pay players, and also we're going to have a free transfer portal, which makes sense. I mean, I don't have any hard feelings of players getting paid. I do think they should get something for the amount of money that they bring in an institution, but it's not designed that I'm going to pay you X amount of dollars to come play for me.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening. And so now all the power is going to the kid. And so they said, okay, let's do it. Let's try it. How are you going to fix it now? You're going to have to get some guidelines. But now we're in a situation that you're basically professional football, where that's not what they wanted. Like no one would have anticipated someone paying a quarterback $6 million to come to your school. I mean, that's professional football. You get
Yeah.
paid that.
Yeah.
You're also finding, I don't want to say you're finding less players at that level are going to risk their bodies because they're already getting paid and they know they're going to go to the league.
Hmm.
So why would I risk my body in this tight game or try to make this dive when I go up and get this catch when I know that safety's coming, he's going to smoke me, right?
Yeah.
And you're seeing it. I mean, you're seeing it at the highest levels
Yeah.
of because they're getting paid already. Some of them are making more than the coaches, and a lot of the coaches come in here and they're like, I don't even want to know how much each player is making because if I know he's making this and this guy's making less, am I going to treat him differently? Or I'm going to get on and be like, you're getting paid $400,000, you better produce, or you know what I mean? The
Yeah.
kids have all the power, the student athletes do. And it's even to the point now where you're getting these street agents that are taking 20%,
20%.
20 when an NFL player pays 3%
Wow.
to an agent. We had a kid, I won't name the school, but he entered the portal from a MAC school. and went to an SEC school and committed. And I asked him how much he got paid, whatever. And he told me, here's my situation, coach. He got me $20,000 more than what I was kind of anticipating, but he told me I owe him 20,000.
That you owe him 20,000?
That no, that the kid owes the street agent 20 grand because he
Oh.
gave him 20,000 more.
Oh my God. So like, yeah, you kind of have to like spot these agents and like people think like player empowerment's good, but like it's a lot, if you really think about it, it's a lot of pressure for an 18-year-old who's like very young and not doesn't have like a lot of real world experience. They're kind of
Mhm.
forced, I see it, and maybe you agree or maybe you don't. I see it as they have to make really tough decisions at a young age. And when you're that young and don't have that much experience, it's just hard to make sound decisions because like
Right.
they're probably so emotionally based. Whereas like a coach like yourself who's been experienced and has been around for a very long time could probably help guide the kid to make
Yep.
better decisions for his, for his career.
Yep.
And
Yep.
yeah, I'm sure like how has all this like affect your ability to discipline players, would you say? Has it like made
Well,
it tougher to like coach overall?
yeah, I mean it's I can only imagine at that level, when they're paying them all this. But I think in general, um, times have changed. The game, I mean, when the best, in my opinion, the best coach in Nick Saban gets out of his not his prime, but his domination because of NIL, transfer portal, and he lost his what made him so good. He would have 3 5 stars at the same position, but he's going to develop them and he's going to get them to the NFL, and would build a relationship with them and all those things. That's all out the window. Like now, I mean, when you see every Division I school hire a GM or Division I school now has a general manager that's managing that portion of it. I mean, it's the NFL, but you, like I said, the high school ranks of a kid coming in wanting to develop and play under Nick Saban are gone. It's all about what are you giving me now? If I'm not playing, I'm transferring. Coach is being hard on me. I don't see eye to eye with coach. I'm transferring or whatever it is. I can only imagine at that level how much it's changed because if I'm frustrated at practice and I get after you, now I got to be prepared that you're probably going to leave. You know, it's Well, I mean, there's kids that are calling schools saying the going rate for me to official visits $5,000 and
Wow,
they're getting paid.
it's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
just to
mean,
go visit.
and like, yeah, because like, and that's the thing. I mean, could it get to the point where like JUCOs and Division twos will need collectives? Because like, if so many people are
Yeah.
going there, like they may need their own collectives
Mhm.
aside from the
There's
school.
some there's some that have some already. And they got some of those companies that can do like open endorse, that have reached out to us. And that's just, I mean, that's smaller scale, but there's no reason why it's not going to get to there. I mean, and it will get here. Hopefully not in my time because that's not something I want to deal with, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. But I mean, it's the time, that we're going to.
And do you think that like all this, I mean, obviously there's a lot of headache that comes with it, of course, but do you think this will bring the JUCOs more money? Like the new JUCO rule, assuming it's going to be
Oh yeah,
granted for everyone, will it bring more money to the JUCOs?
probably, probably. I mean, you're getting, higher end player. And I mean, shoot, we played teams that watch us play. Like, I mean, the one year in the national championship against East Mississippi 2 years ago, and there's probably 40 Division I football players on the field, at one time. And so people who see that level of play, um, you know, it's gonna continue to bring them. We don't get a lot of support right now. I mean, from a junior college standpoint, like the national office, it's not like we played in a national championship game and probably cost us close to $200,000. The school. with transport. We didn't get no transportation. They just don't have that. Like division TV money and, you know, SEC network and all that type of stuff. The schools are bringing in a lot more like that. So it's just a little bit probably more high profile.
And do you think that will change? You think that part will change too with this new JUCO ruling?
Oh yeah. I would think it probably could in a little bit down the road.
Okay. And also, I just wanted to like make sure I understood you clear. You think that more players will go to JUCO if the new ruling occurs, and fewer people will go to like FCS and like those
Yeah.
kinds of schools for sure?
I would think so. I mean, you're always going to have some that are just they're satisfied FCS or whatever. They don't think they can play at a higher level. But I mean, 99% of my players come here because they want to play Division I football. Maybe not 99%, but more than 75%. I got guys who are average football players and they're disappointed with the D2 offer. Like, you're not going to play any higher than that.
Yeah. And do you think that like this new rule, are they going to have to give more scholarship opportunities to JUCO, like more scholarships for JUCO players with this new rule?
Yeah, schools are going to have to give more. I mean, right now, junior college rules, you can have 85 scholarships. There's not a school in the country that has, I don't, that I think has 85 fulls, you know. Um,
Oh, not now. But that will you think that will change likely?
oh yeah, I mean, as it'd be up to the institution, you
Okay.
know. So like I can have 85 guys on some type of money to be fully funded would probably be $3 million, to do it. And then the school wouldn't be able to stay sustainable. So if you get to that much money, then there's got to be some type of other revenue generating to help offset those costs, like,
Yeah.
you know, Florida foot or Nebraska football funds majority of their other sports. There's only two sports at Nebraska that fund themselves and make money, and that's football and volleyball. But the sport shooting and the softball team or whatever, they're in the red, but it's got to balance out some way.
And do you think that like it could get to the point where like I don't know, like Iowa State would have to fund Iowa Western, for example, or like Iowa
Yeah,
would,
yeah, I mean, that's a good point. I mean, it very easily could be if you get into the feeder systems.
right? Like if they grant that rule, like, and
Mhm.
everybody wants to go to JUCO in Iowa if they're not an ESPN 300 because like you win there, then they probably would need funding from those schools, right?
Right?
Because like,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Well,
that,
and now to be honest with you, with the rules the way they are now, there's no reason why Iowa State can't donate $1 million to Iowa Western. I mean, I don't
hmm,
know why. I mean, every other rule, it's there's already rumors of some SEC and Mississippi's are helping a couple Mississippi schools. You
Mississippi
know,
JUCOs.
yeah.
Wow.
If
Yeah.
it's, I'll give you this much money if this guy comes here.
So it's already happened. So
Oh
basically,
yeah.
so they're assuming that the rule is going to happen. So they're doing that, assuming that the NCAA is going to grant the JUCO for everybody.
No, this has been going on for kind of the under the table money. Like, hey, you keep pushing me, guys. Here's 30,000,
Hmm.
or um, my car dealer company is gonna all of a sudden I'm driving a new car because two of my players went to that school.
Wow.
You know,
That's crazy.
I'd be like me having a kid, send two kids to Billy Napier, and all of a sudden I'm driving a new car from a car dealer in Florida. There's nothing against the rule. The car dealer can do it. There's a heavy booster that could come up here and give me $100,000 to make sure that these three players go to the University of Florida. It's because it's no different than doing it to a high school kid, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the avenue I got to start working. Have you ever met Coach Napier?
I have not actually. Um, yeah.
I coached his younger brother
Mm,
at a Division II school, and he was a GA at Clemson at the time, and he came up and we clinicked, I don't know, for a couple days, really sharp. And then I sent him a quarterback when he was at um, Louisiana, Lafayette,
Monroe or
Monroe,
Lafayette, sorry.
Lafayette, yeah,
Lafayette.
when he was there. So I still stay in touch with him.
Wow, yeah. He seems like a very like seems like the players love him.
Oh,
So he
he's a
seems like
good,
a good guy for sure.
he's a good human being.
Yeah. As do you. I mean, look, you're winning at the JUCO level at better than most would. So thank you for that. And well, I think that will be all. Thank
Okay.
you so much, Coach. I
Well, if
really
there's
appreciate
anything,
your
don't
time.
hesitate. Just shoot me a text or an email.
Okay, perfect.
All
Thank you
right.
so much. Have a
You
great
bet.
rest of
Not
your day.
you too. Bye bye.
Bye.